Hey, this is Daniel with ASU-Newport Adult Education, and today I'm coming with the part 3 of our American Immigration video series. If you haven't watched part 1 and 2, please go back and do so and then return to this video. So we stepped away from part 2 talking about the massive growth in American cities. And these immigrants were coming in any way possible, from small little ocean steamliners all the way to the Titanic, which was actually bringing immigrants when it sank. They would come and get inspected, and then they would be processed, usually at Ellis Island, which becomes the symbol of American immigration history. It's just absolutely fascinating how records were kept, paper and pencil and pen. I so want to just hear that room. It would have just been absolutely fascinating just to hear the noise that's going on in that room. And once they were processed, they walked out of Ellis Island, and like that picture we saw earlier about what lay ahead, the sky was the limit. It was up to them to make it now. Now, we see a lot of talk about the American immigrant, the man, the woman, but one thing we also need to keep in mind is the children, because these children are not going to school. They are going to work. A lot of boys went to work in coal mines. You can see the wick and the oil lamp on his hat. This boy's daily routine, if we could hear it, would probably shock us. The stories that boy could tell would just be fascinating. And also girls. Most worked in textile mills. And if we really look, one thing I always get people to look at whenever they see pictures like this are these girls' hands. They are usually very dirty, cut up, and swollen because they're dealing with thread, needles, small machines, small parts, working with their hands meticulously every day. And it's just absolutely fascinating. Some of them look real depressed and sad, while others, like this girl, has a smile on her face and looks like she's really good friends with these two other girls. So keep in mind the children, too, when we think of American immigrants. This is a very famous picture of New York City. Shows all these different cultures and ideas merging into this melting pot, and it's what creates the America that we know today. Now, here's something that we see in the news today. Whether you believe it or not, it is just absolutely fascinating that in 1888, a cartoon can be made showing American immigrants coming, American businessmen giving them jobs before the American working man with his family and his tools just in non-use. And it says, welcoming large numbers of low-paid immigrants, leaving the American working man unemployed. And that's why I love history, because things that occur in 2020, you can find parallels all the way back to 1880s. And it's just absolutely so amazing to study American immigration. And they begin to restrict immigration. We see here that it's restricted to 3% of the existing population. So you can see Germany and Great Britain had the most, but also the Polish, the Italians, the French, the Swedes, Norwegians. So all these Europeans, including Russians, are coming. And finally, America in 1920s begin to say enough is enough, and they start restricting it. And you can still see that even in the 1920s, people are still clamoring to come. And that's what creates the America we know today. You can see how many people have German ancestry. How many people have Irish ancestry? And also Italian, African American, Latin America. So keep in mind, America is a nation of immigrants, and is what's created such an opportunity for people from every walk of life.